All right. Welcome, guys. We're so happy that you're here. Tonight, you're going to be learning about some natural solutions for you and for your family's health. It'll probably take about, give or take, 35 to 40 minutes long. We'll do a little giveaway at the end. So if you stick around for that, we would love to give it away. I've got like a little packet of all these awesome samples. If you're watching from your phone, you can always turn sideways. You can see the screen a little bit better. And you can take screenshots of anything if you want to remember anything. And if you want to drop things in the chat, if you're on your phone, you might have to tap the middle of it and it should pop up from the bottom. Otherwise, you can just unmute. We're small enough to where I feel like it can be a personal class too. Okay, so let's dream a little here. I know this has nothing to do with health, but it's okay. It's gonna make sense in a minute. So, oh, I've got Lucy being admitted. Perfect. And Mary. Perfect. Okay, sorry guys. It's hard to do like the admitting at the same time of focusing on the thing. So thank you for your patience. Anyway, so imagine if you were gifted your dream car, but the only catch was that it would need to last your entire life. Okay, so you need to think through which car are you going to choose? Does anybody want to shout out like, oh, I would so take me personally. I'm taking number 4. I don't know about you.
What is that, a Land Rover?
You know, that's embarrassing. My brother would be ashamed of me. I don't even know, but it looks great.
Well,
Why I put my Bronco in there is beyond me because I want a baby Bronco.
that me too. The powder blue with the white top. That's what I want. The Bronco, like the vintage powder blue. Yes, girl. Yes. We twin cars.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so wouldn't you want to take care of it if it was the only car you ever got? Would you skip putting the best fuel in it? Would you skip the oil changes? Chances are no, right? Would you ignore strange noises or dashboard warning signs? Of course not, because it's valuable. Remember, it's yours for life, right? So, well, how this all ties in is we only get one body, right? So why is it that health tends to be the first thing that we sacrifice, right? We buy cheap processed foods when it's convenient. We ignore symptoms and delay checkups sometimes. We skip working out because we don't have time. We invest in cars, homes, phones, but sometimes lack in, investing in our health. So when times get short and budgets get tight, health is oftentimes the first thing that Americans cut out, right? Let's be honest. Have you ever done that? We put ourselves on the back burner, even when we know it's the most valuable asset that we'll ever have, right? So we want to know if any of you are experiencing some of these common health concerns. We want to know if you want to put it in the chat. You're more than welcome to put it in the chat. If you feel like you want to shout it out, feel free. We're a chill group. But I'm so glad Lucy, I'm glad that you made it tonight. Mary, you too.
Yeah. Is Mary on here?
Yeah, hi.
Oh, there you are.
Love it. So feel free, if you want to share any of those on the screen that you see that you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm struggling with that. I can tell you my personal story as you guys put it in the chat. Me, a year ago, I was struggling with like extreme hip pain that I had had for years. And it was like every single night I would ask my husband to rub my right hip. And it got to the point where we were a hot mess express and he started having his shoulder hurt because I was asking him to rub my hip so much. And I'm like, what are we even doing? This is ridiculous. We're in our 30s. I had leaky gut, and I'm sure that had something to do with it. My thyroid was completely out of whack. And so over the last year, doing some things, just eating better, also supplementing, has made a huge difference. And I don't have any of that hip pain anymore. My thyroid's all back in check, and I don't have leaky gut anymore. So there's hope for you guys tonight. I'm excited to share what we've got. But is there anything in here? I don't know if I'm not even looking in the chat, so you'll have to help me. Allergies, joint pain, digestion, anxiety. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks for sharing, guys. You're not alone. Okay, Amy, I'll toss it over to you for a little bit.
All right, so let's talk about modern medicine. All right, there's a lot of different ways that we can look at medicine, and obviously, I live in a medicine world daily, and so let's talk about the differences between these. So there's two basic approaches to healthcare, and the modern approach is what most of us know. That's like kind of Western medicine. So when we're looking at the modern approach, what happens is you come in and you tell me what your symptoms are, and then I prescribe a medication to take care of that. And then you come back and follow up, and hopefully your blood pressure is down, or your anxiety is better, or your stomach pains are better, your acid reflux is down, because you're taking the medicine that I prescribed. So
I forgot to record it. Amy.
What?
Forgot to record it.
Oh, it was recording.
Was
It said it's recording. You're good.
Oh my gosh. Okay, good. Awesome.
You're good. I had to turn it. Yeah. I was like,
that
no,
moment.
I thought maybe I was muted.
Oh, good. No, it's so good. Keep going. Okay.
So basically what we're doing is we're addressing all those symptoms by pills and prescriptions. And unfortunately, what I see daily with patients is that those pills and prescriptions actually cause more symptoms and side effects. And so as a result, what happens is we're never treating the root cause. What we're doing is we're simply getting on this never-ending cycle. And this is a really crazy fact, you guys. There's $6.5 trillion spent on global healthcare every single year. And here in the United States, we spend 3 times what other countries spend. However, we're twice as sick, and our life expectancy in the US is actually going down. There are some issues with our healthcare. According to the CDC, right now, 90% of healthcare spending goes to managing chronic disease. So let's talk about a whole different way of looking at medicine, and that's the natural approach. So when we go to the natural approach, what we're looking at here is we're looking at the patient. So we're looking at the patient's issues, and we're truly addressing the body's needs. So we're getting down to the foundation of why are they dealing with all of these things. So because we're focusing on that root cause, we're actually eliminating those issues and not having to simply put a Band-Aid on the symptoms that person is probably going to have to take that medication for life, because we're never eliminating the reason they have that issue. So we're going to be talking a lot about helping us foundationally. So let's talk today about what causes disease in the body. So when we're looking at disease, there's 3 main causes for that. The first is nutrient deficiency. Second, inflammation, and the third is toxic overload. So let's first talk about nutrients. So did you know that 96% of Americans do not get the nutrients they need? A single apple today, if you were going to eat an apple today and you wanted to get the same amount of nutrients that you got 40 years ago, you would need to eat 32 apples, you guys. 32 apples to get the same nutrients that you would have gotten 40 years ago. There was a study done on nutrients in foods, and it concluded that we would also have to eat 8 oranges to get the same amount of vitamin A as our grandparents did when they would eat just 1 orange. Now, vitamin A is very essential for your vision, so we want you to have plenty of that, but it also helps our immune system. So when we're looking at things like this, there is just no possible way we can actually ingest everything from our food supply. So let's face it, you guys, because food is not what it needs to be, and because we have so many different pesticides and things that are being put on our food supply, we've got to make some changes. Now, let's move on to inflammation. So inflammation is our body's, it's kind of our help signal. So if we happen to be hurt, it's actually kind of good to get inflammation because it'll bring in all those mediators to kind of help heal our issue. But when we are in a state of chronic inflammation, that's not good. So what's happening currently is we're constantly being triggered by our sugar and our processed foods. And basically what happens is we can't fight off all of that inflammation. And chronic inflammation leads to all kinds of issues. So if you guys look at this, this list here on the side, it can be everything from headaches to lack of sleep. We can get low energy, which was a huge one for me. You can get headaches, heart disease, issues with depression, anxiety. That was a big one for me too. And so if we can get those things out of there by getting rid of inflammation, it makes a huge difference. And then we've got toxic overload. You guys, from day one, we are hit with chemicals in our food, our products, our air. It is really a lot. And our bodies it's just too much for them to be able to detox all of that. So we end up feeling tired, run down, and very vulnerable. because our detox organs can't do everything they need to, we've got to target that as well. So, according to Dr. Casey Means, the real problem actually starts way deeper. It's at the cellular level. And so she's a Stanford trained physician. She's specializing in head and neck surgery. But now she's kind of switched gears and she's a New York Times bestselling author of the book Good Energy. You guys, if you have not read that, write that down. Dr. Casey Means Good Energy. It is fabulous. I love it. I've listened to it and read it, and I'm probably going to listen to it again. But she's transitioned into functional medicine, and she's really looking at addressing the root causes of chronic disease. What she says is that our cells, the little powerhouses in our bodies that run everything in our bodies, they're just not functioning the way that they are supposed to anymore. So we've got a quick video for you guys to check out. Let's hear what she has to say.
It's not an overstatement to say that I learned virtually nothing at Stanford Medical School about the tens of thousands of scientific papers that elucidate these root causes of why American health is plummeting and how environmental factors are causing it. For instance, in medical school, I did not learn that for each additional serving of ultra-processed food we eat, early mortality increases by 18%. This now makes up 67% of the foods our kids are eating. I took 0 nutrition courses in medical school. I didn't learn that 82% of independently funded studies show harm from processed food, while 93% of industry-sponsored studies reflect no harm. In medical school, I didn't learn that 95% of the people who created the recent USDA food guidelines for America had significant conflicts of interest with the food industry. I did not learn that 1 billion pounds of synthetic pesticides are being sprayed on our food every single year. 99% of the farmland in the United States is sprayed with synthetic pesticides, many from China and Germany. And these invisible, tasteless chemicals are strongly linked to autism, ADHD, sex hormone disruption, thyroid disease, sperm dysfunction, Alzheimer's, dementia, birth defects, cancer, obesity, liver dysfunction, female infertility, and more.
And you guys, we've got to do better. So Ashley, I think we're going back to you.
Thanks, Dr. Amy. Okay, so you may know doTERRA as being the world leader in essential oils, because they are, but tonight we're focused on their top selling foundational health products, things, the supplements, really, gut support and energy. What makes doTERRA different? You're probably wondering, right? They actually work. That's for starters. Many supplements are just not heavily regulated, but doTERRA's are clinically backed, developed by real doctors, and third-party tested for purity and potency. Also, there's no junk ever. We're talking 100% pure ingredients, no fillers, no contaminants, and no shortcuts. And thirdly, the science. doTERRA has an in-house team of scientists and partners with independent labs and third-party testing. And then one thing that me and Amy love is the co-impact sourcing. So doTERRA is actually a humanitarian company focused on global impact through their Healing Hands Foundation by sourcing their essential oils and ingredients in their best habitat for that plant to thrive. They work directly with the farmers all over the world, impacting their communities and creating meaningful jobs and income. Amy got to go on like a service project on the incentive trip. My husband had a little something in his throat, so he didn't want to go that day. But if you want to speak to that, you are more than welcome to. A little heart behind it.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. There's no doubt. I mean, they really are trying to change the world, not just by providing amazing products that actually work to help us heal, but just really helping the individuals. And I just love it. I mean, it's really, really, really exciting to be a part of that, so that we really are making a global impact. I love making impact on my friends and my family and my patients and things like that. But it's pretty cool to make an impact around the world as well.
It is. So we're going to take a look at doTERRA's wellness pyramid. At the foundation, these basics lay the groundwork for everything else, like reducing toxins, managing stress, and supporting your body with the right tools. And when we actually focus on these habits, we see things like inflammation, fatigue, and gut issues start to improve, oftentimes without medicine. Our bodies are incredibly smart and they just need the right support. So we're going to break it down and show you how it works. So as we focus on foundational wellness, we're filling our nutrient gaps and supporting the brain and heart health and reducing inflammation, balancing gut bacteria and supporting healthy digestion. So we're going to dive in right now. Okay. It's not just about taking vitamins, it's about how well your body can absorb them and use them. Unfortunately, most supplements on the market, they're only 20 to 30% bioavailable, which means you're peeing out 70 to 80% of them. Bioavailability just means how much of a supplement your body can actually use. Bioretention is how much of the supplement stays in the body for you to utilize throughout the entire day. This is also key when we'll be addressing the next couple of slides. So what is VMG? VMG stands for vitamins, minerals, and greens plus essential oils. It's a daily nutritional drink with over 90 whole food-based ingredients, including fruits, vegetables, probiotics, and digestive enzymes designed to fill the gaps in our diets. Okay, each sachet contains 3 to 4 servings of nutrient-dense greens plus essential oils, which helps with that bioavailability we were talking about. So doTERRA's study even showed that 91% of VMG plus stayed in the system for 8 hours, keeping those nutrients available when your body needs them the most, which is amazing bioretention, right? So if you struggle with energy slumps, bloating, brain fog, VMG can definitely help. It supports energy, digestion, mental clarity. It's gluten-free, it's vegan-friendly, and it tastes amazing. Let's face it. And now it looks like it's green and it might taste yucky, but it doesn't. It tastes like pineapple mango flavor. So I think that's one of the best parts. Also, VMG Plus is 540% more bioavailable than regular supplements on the market, thanks to its essential oils and the liposomal technology. And when it comes to tackling inflammation, VMG showed up some impressive results that I think is the reason, part of the reason, plus the collagen for me, why my pain has gone away. So it reduced CRP, which is C-reactive protein, which is also known as inflammation biomarker, in the participants in the study by 43.5%. That's almost by half. That's huge, you guys. So it means it can help with chronic pain, boost your energy, and just make you feel better overall. And one of the best parts is you feel younger. In just 6 weeks, VMG helped reduce biological age by 2 years. So it's not just about looking youthful, it's about feeling that way too, with better cell health and vitality. If anybody's on here that's on VMG currently right now that wants to just give like a little bit of a personal testimonial, I just open the floor. Feel free, anybody.
I'm happy to share. I mean, this has literally changed my life. So, I see patients all day long. I'm probably interacting with 20 to 22 different patients every day and their families because I see a lot of kids. And I was using up all of my energy at work. What was happening is by the time I got home, my brain fog was so bad, I would sit on the couch and fall asleep. And what I found out last January, so a year ago, January, is that my CRP was actually, my C-reactive protein was off the charts and I had inflammation through my whole body. I had been working with my doctors. So it wasn't that I wasn't getting the care I needed. It's just that the medications weren't doing what they needed to do to help me feel better. So this has been a huge impact for me. And my husband saw how great I was feeling. He started it. We started our kids on it. And, it's just been so impactful in our family. I don't hesitate to share. I love the statistics because when you have something that's actually bioavailable, I have tons of patients who are on vitamins, but they're on vitamins that they're not actually be able to use. And they're on vitamins that aren't really doing anything for them. They will say, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it really works. I mean, I think it's good. And so I love that this is something that literally makes such a huge difference. So that's my testimonial.
I love it. Thanks, Amy. I just got back all of my blood work recently. after a year. And my thyroid numbers all came back completely, totally normal when they were not before 1 year prior. And antibodies. My doctor literally looked at me and said that you're always going to have that with Graves' disease. There ain't no way you can fix that. And I'm here to tell you that I tested both antibodies this time. One was completely in the green, and the other one it was like -100, and now it's 49, almost in the positive. So it's going in the right direction. I'm like, woo, your body is amazing and it can heal itself. Okay.
So can I ask a question?
Oh, yeah.
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 How does it interfere with other medications that you are on?
Yeah, that's a great question. Dr. Amy, do you want to take that?
Yeah, so typically what we would do before we would start anybody on a new supplement is we would definitely look at the medications that you're taking. What I love about this is everything in here is totally natural. It's all it's all bio-based, so you're not getting anything that's synthetic. When you have synthetic things, yes, they can interfere with a lot of our regular medications. So oftentimes what happens as people are getting better and better, they're able to actually get off of those medications. But that's definitely taken on a case-by-case basis, Lucy. So thank you for asking that. But we would definitely talk with you and just go over your personal situation and make sure everything makes sense for you.
Perfect. Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Moving on. So this is Sarah. She was taking medical grade supplements from her doctor, and it was getting really expensive. She was noticing a difference, so she decided to she was not noticing a difference is what I meant. She decided to switch over to doTERRA Foundational Wellness, and after 6 months of being on the products, she got her checkup and her blood work came back normal. Isn't that wild? We see it happen time and time again. So she is actually feeling so good, and she looks incredible too. She also is on our collagen, and she's a huge fan of that. And then this is Sherry. She was a migraine sufferer for 2 decades. She was on prescriptions, taking shots to keep them at bay. She went on the foundational wellness, and all of her migraines significantly got reduced over the last year and a half, and she's been able to get off of all of her prescription medications and her shots, and she has only had 6 migraines in the last year and a half. Okay, I'm going to toss this back over to Dr. Amy.
All right, so let's talk about omegas. This is something where is very near and dear to my heart in the eye care world. If you've I think most of us have heard of omegas, but let's talk about the difference between them. So 95% of Americans are actually deficient in omega-3s. And there's 2 main types of omegas that are out there. So let's talk about omega-6s first. Well, these are the bad guys, all right? These are the ones that stimulate inflammation in our bodies. They're also the ones that are super readily available, and they're the ones that we can actually make ourselves, so our bodies can actually produce them. And so when we're eating things maybe that are processed and things that have a lot of extra fats in them and things like that that are not good quality fats, then what happens is those omega-3s get off the charts. This causes a lot of issues because when we're in that chronic inflammatory state, our bodies don't function like it should. And so we need to balance out with omega-3s. So omega-3s are the ones that actually aid in tissue repair. So these are the good guys, all right? These are the ones we want. These are not ones that we can actually make on our own. And so we have to either ingest them by a supplement or we have to eat all the right foods. And what we're looking for, you guys, is a 1-to-1 ratio. So we've got to try to get those balanced so that they can actually, so that our omega-3s could do what they need to. Unfortunately, most of us are living in a 16-to-1 ratio right now. And that's just food supply. It's just life. And man, it's something that we all are fighting against. So unless you're eating 2 cans of amazing quality tuna every day, I would almost guarantee you're not getting enough omega-3s. So let's talk about the things that omegas impact in our bodies. So they're actually a huge deal for our heart, our brain, our metabolism, and our eyes. And they actually even affect how long that we live. So let's break it down a little bit. When we're looking at omegas, well, obviously we know that omega-6s target inflammation. They cause inflammation and things like that. Well, our omega-3s are the fighters of inflammation. So that is huge. They're the ones that are going to help decrease our joint pain, help us to heal faster. And let's go on to our heart. So omega-3s help to reduce blood pressure. They also reduce our triglycerides. They can improve our HDL and improve our, that's the good cholesterol. That's the one you want, you guys. And they help to keep our arteries flexible. And so they really just get that whole cardiovascular system functioning like they're supposed to. Now, let's talk about our brains. So omega-3s honestly are like brain food. So they help our brains to function the way that they're supposed to. Our brain is literally 60% fat. So without the right omega-3s, you guys, our brain doesn't function like it needs to. They support things like focus, memory, mood. They help with anxiety. They help with so many things in our brain that if we're not getting that, oof, not cool. And you guys, they're important not just for adults. They're important for kids. They're important for eye development. And you'll find this even especially during pregnancy when the mother takes omega-3s, she's supporting that baby's development. So super important for that. They're also really important for metabolism. So omegas help us to balance our blood sugar, and they support healthy weight management because they improve our body's uses of insulin. So without the right omega-3s, you guys, we just can't do what we need to. And for true longevity, you'll find that people with a higher omega-3 levels have a lower risk of serious diseases. And some studies are showing that we actually add years onto our lives by keeping our omega-3s in the right place. So let's talk about what we can do for that. I want to talk to you about E-Omega Plus. This has been a huge thing for my practice as far as dry eye patients and things like that. Because when you have those right omega-3s, your body functions the right way and your eyes actually function so much better. So because our bodies can't make those omega-3s and we have to get them from supplements, experts will recommend about 500 milligrams a day. But most of us, honestly, you guys get maybe like 90 milligrams a day. And so we're just not getting what our body needs to function the way it needs to. E-Omega Plus actually provides 900 milligrams of omega-3s per serving. Sorry, my dogs are going a little crazy. The thing about E-Omega Plus is that doTERRA has added wild orange essential oil to E-Omega Plus. And the reason they added that is it has something called limonene, which helps us to manage cholesterol. It boosts our energy. It supports inflammation. And all the while, that wild orange helps keep the fish oil fresh. That's super cool. If you've ever taken an omega-3 supplement and you've had fishy burps, that's probably the biggest complaint I get from patients if they're taking omega-3s is that they get fishy burps. You don't get that with this. Actually, these things taste amazing. A lot of people actually will just bite them and swallow the inside and spit out the capsule because it tastes like wild orange. So if you're not somebody who likes pills, super easy to take, just bite that and down the hatch. But I just swallow them whole, no problem. They're easy to take. What I love about this is the clinical research. And so if you look on the screen, there's two things that I think are really critical and super amazing about E-Omega Plus. First is a 16.2% decreased resting heart rate over 6 weeks on study participants who are taking E-Omega Plus. For me, that's been huge. I have something called POTS syndrome, and my heart rate tends to run very, very high. And even my resting heart rate, I can be doing absolutely nothing. And I've noticed a really nice, just pulling it down about 8 to 10 beats a minute. For me, that's huge. I run really high, so that's a little bit, that percentage there. But man, I just feel so much better. And I think my heart is going to last a lot longer because it's not beating as many times. And the second thing is diastolic blood pressure. You actually see about a 6-point decrease in diastolic blood pressure over about 6 weeks, which is really great for those people who are fighting against that. And I will tell you, the number of people I have on high blood pressure medications is insane. And so it's a huge issue for many of us. And it's really great that we can get that down. And when you pair this with VMG Plus, it's really nice because you can actually save money with the bundles, but you really maximize your health benefits. And this helps with so many things. The VMG helps with your inflammation. Man, you guys, it's a match made in heaven.
Pass it over to Kim.
Right, we're going to talk next about your healthy gut biome.
With our product PB Restore, this is a pre, pro, and postbiotic, and it's time released. It's a dual capsule. You can see here where the different colors, they digest differently in your digestive system. So your gut health plays a vital role in your overall health and well-being. It's often called your second brain. So doTERRA has two products designed to work in harmony with the VMG and the E-omegas to improve the health of your gut. We have PB Restore, and we also can add in Terrazyme. So doTERRA's PB Restore is this unique formulation of 30 pre, pro, and postbiotics that support the microbiomes throughout your entire body. So in the image, like I said, you have that double encapsulated time-release delivery system. You'll also notice that, unlike other probiotics that dissolve in your stomach acid and fail to reach your intestines, doTERRA's patent capsule first partially dissolves in the stomach, and then the other half makes it to the intestines, which is pretty cool. This unique method ensures billions of healthy intestinal flora are effectively delivered into your digestive system. So since our gut doesn't really work as well as they should because of nutrient deficiencies, and our food supply has all the additives and toxins in it, everyone can benefit from the PB Restore. So if you're noticing any of the signs and symptoms listed here for the unhealthy gut, gas, bloating, constipation, food allergies, fatigue, weight fluctuations, mood changes, and memory and concentration, the PB Restore may be something that you'll benefit from.
I'll add in here, this is my husband's favorite probiotic. He got a parasite back in 2017 in Panama, and it was like his gut was a wreck for like probably way too long. It was like close to like a year and a half before we're like, oh, this might be a parasite. Like he could not eat certain foods. Anyway, so actually, Mary, you're in Wadsworth. That's where we launched from and into RV Life. It was Dr. Bupp's, like his chiropractic center. They actually put him on an entire gut reset that costs a lot of money. And he said the one thing you can never be without is a good probiotic. So Rob's tried everything on the market out there, and this is the only one that he's like, this works so well. So anyway, I'm going to move on to the next one. Go ahead, Kim.
All right, we've talked about nutrition and digestion, which is key to supporting foundational health. But if you're like most of our customers, you're probably also looking for some metabolic support. So let me first start by saying, if you're dealing with any digestion or gut issues, we suggest you start on foundational wellness first. And after 90 days, consider adding our MetaPower Advantage. So MetaPower Advantage is our collagen product, and it's huge right now. There's lots of different collagen products on the market, but doTERRA's collagen is different. Most collagens only focus on one or two types. doTERRA has 9 types, which means it does way more than just support your hair, skin, and nails. It's also designed to support your metabolism as well. It's freeze-dried powder, so you activate it with water, and it's 12 times more absorbable than other collagens. So your body actually uses it properly. But it's not just how you look, it also supports your joints, connective tissue, brain health, which is super important, and gut health. It even helps with things like your A1C, blood pressure, cholesterol levels, which are key indicators of metabolic health. So the game changer is that doTERRA added NMN, which also helps to boost NAD levels in your body. And NAD is essential for cellular repair and regeneration, but it peaks about age 25. So after that, your levels drop, and it leads to issues like wrinkles, joint pain, brain fog, and even more gray hair. So boosting it, the NAD with the NMN means fewer wrinkles for us, less pain, sharper brain function, and even less gray hair. So this is why you'll see such a dramatic before and after result with the collagen MetaPower. So checking out some of the results. So this is in the image at the top left. Rob noticed his hair was growing much faster and fuller after 2 months of being on the collagen. Amy's noticed 13 pounds of weight loss, increased energy, and decreased inflammation over a year, combined with the foundational wellness and PB Restore. On the top right is Linda. She went to the dermatologist for a spot of a sunspot, and all they said was that it was normal. She's tried numerous collagen products before, but they often upset your stomach, had no noticeable effects. But her sunspot's gone now, and her energy levels have improved. Her brain fog has also cleared. So, and on the bottom right, you see a lady who had red spots on her arms. Anytime she bumped herself, they would appear. Doctors biopsy them, said it was just happened when you get older. So after using MetaPower for just 3 months, the spots are totally gone. She's seen other changes as well, like weight loss of 60 pounds, thicker hair, nails growing, and a lower A1C. So what you don't see is more energy, less inflammation, less joint pain, tighter skin, better hair growth, weight loss, lower A1C, and lower cholesterol.
Thanks, Kim. Isn't that awesome? Okay. I'm a huge fan of the collagen, I must say. But usually, like if you've got any sort of gut issues, which a lot of people have gut issues, we say start here and then give it 90 days and then add in the collagen. If your gut is a total wreck, you can work with your advocate, and we do have like a 90-day reset, and that might be something that you might want to consider if you really need like kind of an overhaul, if you will. So the first time that you order Foundational Wellness at doTERRA, you're going to receive this free glass shaker bottle to mix up in the VMG and a free 5 ml peppermint essential oil, which is amazing things for upset tummies, nausea, headaches, and boosting energy and alertness. And also, your advocate can share more with you on how you earn a top 12 free essential oil every single month just by taking Foundational Wellness. Plus, you're going to earn points too. So if that interests you, definitely you're going to get to connect with your advocate. But and then they have extra special codes that they can go over and pop in your cart and be extra special generous. So here are some targeted solutions that we absolutely love. And of course, we have so much more. And your advocate can make personalized suggestions based on health concerns and stuff. But feel free to screenshot. This one would be a good one. Terrazyme. So these are just add-ons. Okay. Terrazyme is a must-have for digestive issues, and it helps break down your food so that we're sensitive to. And it helps us absorb what we need to. So it's great for things like gas and bloating and acid reflux, that kind of thing. It's a digestive enzyme. If you're not pooping at least 1 to 2 times a day, our Zendocrine is part of our 90-day detox, but that is an amazing add-on. I just recently did a class with a functional medicine doctor, and she said, this is like the magic eraser. It is amazing, an incredible product. And so it gently filters your liver, kidney, and gallbladder and helps you stay regular. And Recharge, so that's this one right here, is our amazing electrolytes. And they have 4 types of magnesium and deep sea ocean minerals with no sugar. So 75% of Americans are dehydrated, but they don't even realize it. And it's what causes like brain fog and headaches. So if that's you, that might be a great thing to consider adding on. And last but not least, we just talked about our collagen. And so we just decided we put that in there too. Okay, so we are going to do a giveaway, but before we do, I'm going to pop in a link to our incredible Facebook community that I highly suggest that you join. So just give me 1 second. I'll grab that link and I'm going to put it in the chat for you. So this is full of customers, advocates on our team. You're going to see any classes, like we have a hormone class coming up. And it's totally free, taught by a functional medicine doctor. It's coming up on the 21st, mark your calendar. But we always have like a targeted class. So we've done ones on healthy weight management, on sleep, on a detox, and it's just a great community for you to join. And then if there's any sales, like there's a sale going on, started today for a whole week. You're going to see all of that in the community. Okay, and then let me grab this survey. And if any of you are having a hard time seeing the chat for those links, just shout it out. we can help you. So we'll give you a minute to fill out that survey, and that will help your advocate when it comes to meeting like one-on-one to do a consult, so that it can just be more of a targeted approach. You can ask any questions on there, and your advocate will definitely help you with more of a personalized type of program, depending on what you're going through. If you have headaches, if you've got brain fog, if you've got, digestive issues, you got joint pain, it'll be helpful. Okay. Stop that share for a second. So when you're done, if you can just pop that like something in the chat, or just let me know that you're done filling that thing out. I'm gonna grab the giveaway. So this is my little giveaway. We've got recharge in here, some deep blue, some
Are
of
you
our
giving the puppy away?
right? No, he's a keeper.
Oh,
This is no.
We have to leave, ladies. I'll talk to you. I can talk to you again sometime.
Yes, of
Okay.
course.
But
Absolutely.
I do have to leave.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Lucy.
Mary can catch me up.
Yes, absolutely. She can.
She's been my advocate.
Aw. Thanks for
So,
popping on and learning. Yes, we will get with you Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Nice meeting all of you. I have to
Yes.
go.
Okay, bye, Mom.
Bye-bye.
I'm sorry I interrupted you, Ashley. I was just being silly.
You're let me stop recording.